Windsor, Ontario, 7 and 9-year-old black children are part of the Windsor Soccer Club, and parents, grown people of the opposing team, are yelling out anti-black slurs to these young kids. Take a look.
I was really hoping I was wrong.
It was a hot summer day. A House League game for players aged 7 to 9 was underway at the Fort Test track this past weekend. Alicia Colley heard a racial slur doled out by a parent of an opposing team.
Why can't people like that play properly in the heat? If they can't, then they shouldn't be playing.
Colley says the comments didn't stop.
Continuing on in the game, however, there are multiple other kids that are of color on the team, and anything that she had to say in any racial slur or comment slandering was towards a child of color.
Tiana Camiso and Aaliyah Haydus are members of the Sky Blue Windsor Soccer Club team and felt the negative energy on the field.
They're saying people who's black, saying there's something wrong with them being black. And it really hurted me.
I didn't like it about, when the person said, I was red, and then, he said, stuff, rude and stuff, so that makes me weird and hurtful.
The Windsor Soccer Club offered this statement to CTV News today, saying, "We are aware of the incident involving parents that occurred during a recent 9-year-old girls' House League soccer game. Although we have not received an official complaint, Windsor Soccer Club takes allegations of inappropriate behavior very seriously. We are currently investigating the incident." Now, team coach Cassandra Camiso made numerous phone calls. She says she plans to lodge a formal complaint. She stopped the game because she felt the comments were getting out of hand.
My daughter said to me, "Mom, is there a problem that I'm black?" And when your kid says that to you, it's heartbreaking. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. Everybody round up.
Windsor, Ontario is literally the neighbor of Detroit, Michigan, and there is vast, vast black history in Windsor, Ontario. You can look it up and you'll see so much there, so much history. Yet here we are, these little kids, and as you can hear, they're upset by it. And little kids who are playing a game of soccer shouldn't even have to be concerned with things like this, especially from grown adults. But what can we expect when we live in a country that is just fraught with anti-black racism, to the point where even little kids just playing a game would experience that? And it just goes to show that nothing changes in Canada at all. And these confused little girls are talking about how much it hurt them and it felt weird for them. And, the mom's upset about it. And what really bothers me a lot about this story is that the coach said that she stopped the game, when really and truly the people or persons that are responsible for yelling out these anti-black slurs should have been escorted from the field, and the game should continue. That is the message you want to send, which is this is not going to be tolerated, and the little kids can understand that we got your back and we're going to fight for you, and we're not going to allow anybody to sit here and yell out anti-black slurs to you. So by stopping the game, all that does is just give these people more power. There are no consequences for these actions, okay? And then, of course, Windsor Soccer Club is issuing their canned statement talking about how much, they take this seriously and it's not accepted and it's still under investigation. And, of course, the coach is launched a formal complaint. Is it going to go anywhere? Doubtful. Because what should have happened was it should have been addressed right there on the field. Now, if I was one of those, little kids' parents, I would have addressed it immediately. It would have been very important for my child to see that we are not going to accept that. Our children are not going to be 7, 8, 9 years old and having to be subjected to that when they're just playing a game. So I would have had real words with the parent or parents responsible for that heckling, okay? And I would also be pressing on Windsor Soccer Club and whoever else I need to to make sure that this is addressed. Everybody knew who those parents were. It's not like it's a secret. So, what are we investigating? We need to get to the bottom of it. We need to get in touch with those parents, and they need to be banned from attending any more of these sporting events. Who cares if their children are there? Too bad. And really, if we want to take it a step further, their children should also be yanked from the game because this is learned behavior, right? So if these children from the opposing team, who are the folks, are hearing their parents behave this way and say these kinds of things, you know they're saying it at home. You know that these children are probably junior racists in the making. And again, by not addressing it right away, all that does is show these junior racist children that it's okay to do that. So what's to say that they won't also be calling these black children this on the field? Because nothing was done, and nothing has been done all the way up until now. This happened a few weeks ago. No consequences whatsoever. So we need to stop just launching complaints and not addressing it right there. We need to be mama bears for our children and papa bears for our children. And I'm not suggesting that it has to become violent and we need to put hands on anybody. I'm just saying, I'm using my words. You're not going to sit there and call my child any anti-black slur when she's playing sports, and you're going to get away with that. No. And the game isn't stopping. What's going to stop is that person running their mouth, and they're going to be escorted from that field. That's what should have happened, in my humble opinion. Okay? This really frustrates me because, again, I live in Canada. I went through that when I was a little girl. And I'll tell you what, the way it was handled by my parents was not this way. It was addressed right there, right then and there. I played the clarinet, and I would, go through racism. It was handled. Anybody that called me an anti-black slur in the school playground or anywhere, it was handled. My parents would be at those parents' door. So, all of this, we're going to just stop the game. That only affected the children. They didn't get to continue to play. So I don't agree with that at all. We need to address the people involved immediately. And then follow up with the complaint and everything else. But yeah, I'm sorry, but those parents are leaving that field. That would be the only way that game is stopping. If those parents leave that field, because, the focus would be on me having words with that parent. Okay? So the game would stop because everybody would be paying attention to that. That's the only way it would stop. But I'm not stopping the game, or at least the coach shouldn't have stopped the game. Like, why are we doing that? Anyhow, I will keep my good eye on this because I'm really curious to see what further happens, any consequences that go on. But again, I'll say it's very, very doubtful that anything more will come of this. Very doubtful. But what these black parents need to do is have a talk with their children, because their children are going to continue to go through this when you get these canned responses from the soccer club and, an investigation that goes nowhere. The children now need to be armed with coping mechanisms because, again, it's not going to stop. Anyhow, let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content. Also, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News app from your Google or Apple store. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ansah Unfiltered. Until next time, please be safe.